Dave Wheeler, you're the PGM of Lincolnshire. Could you explain, like I'm a 5-year-old, what the provincial honours system actually is? In nice, simple terms to me.
Okay, so the standard explanation is you join Freemasonry.
Yes.
If you go through the offices of the lodge and go through the chair of your lodge,
Yes.
then within 6 years you're eligible to receive a provincial appointment.
Okay.
That's the normal timescale, and then every 6 years after that, if you're a provincial officer, you may be eligible for a provincial promotion. On certain occasions, people who are recommended to us through work that they've done or things that they do in the lodge can get fast-tracked. That's a relatively new innovation in the last 10 years or so, where people are fast-tracked who show potential for the future, and that seems to work relatively well. Obviously, for everyone that's fast-tracked, there'll be other people saying, why not me? I think we have to look at the big picture and see what people do, not only in their own lodge, but within the province. One or two people have said to me they are this, that and the other in their own lodge, but probably don't see beyond that. And I think the other part of the promotion system is that there aren't enough appointments and promotions to go round every year, and it's not an automatic right. So we do have to be very considered, and it's a very, very fair and balanced process that is undertaken to determine recommendations for promotions.
Do you actually have to go through the chair to get any promotion?
No, you don't. And we have provincial officers who've never been through the chair, and they wear...
And they're active ranks?
No, they wear aprons, that are provincial aprons, but they have a rosette on them. So it shows that they're not past masters. And people get recognised for different contributions within Masonry, and I'm sure they're equally delighted to be offered an appointment as those who've been through the chair.
Okay, so what's the difference between an active rank and a past rank?
Okay. The active ranks are active in the current year, and some of those active ranks are things like the Provincial Grand Secretary, Grand Director of Ceremonies. They're permanently active posts. The APGMs, the Charity Steward.
Is that a 10-year role like your role?
No, not necessarily, and that term of service is within my jurisdiction.
Okay.
So I can decide how long or how little those people do.
Would it be fair to say that you're in tenure for 10 years, your deputies and assistant PGMs, are they there for 10 years, the same?
No, again, that's at my discretion. It would be churlish to change them every year because I need a support team as well.
Yes.
They need to get to know their jobs and what's required of them. So they know that they've been appointed into that position, but at certain points, and it could be personal circumstances or it could be on my decision whether they carry on or not. I'm very happy with my current team, I hasten to add.
Yes.
My role, it was a 10-year appointment that's offered. It apparently is reviewed after 7. At any point, again, if my personal circumstances change,
Yes.
then I could give notification of standing down. I hope that I can do 10 years. My predecessor did 10 years. But I do understand that historically it's been almost at the whim of the Provincial Grand Master, and PGMs have gone on for many years. For me, if any role that I've done in the past, you will get to a point where you've probably outstayed the life of the role. So I hope when I get to that point, I recognise it and then hand over.
Do you
the
think a
reins.
decade is too long? I know you've only been in a year, 18 months.
And that 18 months has gone very quickly. So
why do you think it is it's a massive commitment for you?
yeah, and that would be a reason that people wouldn't accept it. Some people have said to me that they wouldn't accept a 10-year appointment if they were offered it. For me, it's very clear. It's a 10-year appointment. A very senior Grand Officer spoke to me shortly before my appointment and said he feels 5 years is sufficient in any role, but he understands that people do longer. What I'm very clear about is that it won't be a lot longer than 10 years. And I repeat, if I feel that I've outstayed my welcome or done all that I can and I'm losing my focus, then I think it would be time then to start saying from my perspective that I would like to stand down at that point. So the decision is in my hands, and it's also in the hands of United Grand Lodge, because if at any point they're not happy with a provincial Grand Master, they will step in and can change them.
And your senior roles, like you've got your own wardens, your own deacons, your own sword bearers, your own inner guard, all that, are they, there's no automatic length? Some will be in there for a year, 2 years, 3 years?
No, they are 12-year appointments. 12-month appointments. So they are a year. So the wardens have that office for a year, the deacons.
And will they be, so this year's junior deacon, senior warden, are they all the workshop masters that were from 6 years ago then?
No. There's a hierarchy. If you look in the provincial book, you'll see the first active appointment anybody could have, the highest active appointment is sword bearer. So if that's the first appointment, 6 years after that, they would qualify for another promotion. The wardens are usually really experienced Masons who have had 1 or 2 or 3 provincial appointments and promotions up to that point. But anybody who's part of the provincial team, the active team for the year, is in post just for that year. So in May of next year, I will appoint 2 new wardens, new deacons, new ADCs, those sort of things. ADCs are slightly different. Their roles last a little bit longer. The Deputy Director of Ceremonies lasts a little bit longer, and the permanent roles are permanent until they're changed.
So most, after 6 years, most get a past...
Yeah, there are only a certain number of active ranks that we can promote people into or appoint people into.
So if it's an active rank, that means they actually have to do some work. Is
That
right?
means that they have the choice of attending all the team visits. They are active in the province, and they would receive greetings in their own lodge if they were the senior active provincial member there.
And the past ranks, that's just after 6 years and then another 6 years, that's just a pat on the back, you've done a good job, a recognition.
It can be. I say it's not an automatic right. People...
So you don't, after 6 years, you don't automatically get a pass?
No, and there is an appointments committee that sits and considers every appointment and promotion in great detail. They then forward the list to me, and all the decisions are the Provincial Grand Masters ultimately, and I can change their recommendations. But it is a very, very thorough and fair process.
I mean, there's 72 lodges.
Yes, 74.
74, sorry. So 2 only accept new members of...
2 are past masters.
2 masters, sorry, that's right, I do apologise. So do you give out 72, after, you know, the workshop master's been there 6 years, do you give out 72?
Potentially you could. I mean, some of the masters sadly don't get to that point in their service. You know, they don't make it. Some people might leave.
Okay.
Some people may not be eligible for promotion for a different reason. And ultimately, we offer a promotion, and on occasions, people may not accept it.
And what are these guys that wear the red badges?
Yeah, they're
Aprons, yeah.
they're provincial stewards.
Okay, and what's
So-
that? Because, again, some people say that's where the fast-track people go.
Well, the Lincolnshire Provincial Stewards Lodge
Yes?
have people who have previously been appointed as steward in the province, so they may have been fast-tracked.
So steward is an active role.
If you're an active steward, if we fast-track somebody who, a year after they've been through the chair, shows tremendous potential, they might...
And they still have... Do they have to have gone through the chair to get to the Lincolnshire stewards?
I think all the provincial stewards are past masters.
They have to be, or has that just been the
No,
been the
I
case?
think they are all past masters.
Okay.
And if we fast-tracked an individual who had only just gone through the chair, they would more than likely be offered an active steward role.
Yes.
That year would involve them doing quite a lot of work for the province in different areas if they're able to.
I mean, Jared Wright's just been promoted there, hasn't he?
Yeah, there's
From
a whole range of people that
Yes.
are young in service, but are very keen Masons. And again, it's not for everybody. Some people don't like that early recognition and they're a little bit embarrassed by it. Other people relish it, and we make decisions on merit, but it is a very, very fair and considered process. Now, I would think that people say, oh, you would say that, wouldn't you? But I've been involved in the committee. I am still involved in the process, and I don't think there's a fairer way of doing it. But I do accept we can't please all the people all the time, but I think that, again, that's a life thing. In my previous job, you wouldn't please everybody all the time. As Provincial Grand Master, I will make decisions that some people like and some people intensely don't like, but I try and do the best for the province.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.